Hi, welcome, it's me, Darwish, your cam guy, and today I'm gonna talk about tips for beginner photographer and cinematographer and what you need to know to be a beginner or become more pro or starter, I don't know, but first thing that need to know is know the language, my boy. Know the language, know the cam guy language. So not about like this guy will talk in BI and this guy talk in BM and that guy talk in Russian private. Nah, I'm talking about ISO, FPS, bokeh, and much more. You need to know about that, and also you need to know how to shoot a manual, because if you haven't know about that, if you haven't shot a manual, even are you a photographer or you just a guy with a cam? Come on, shoot a manual. So for ISO usually mean for I'm gonna say because this doesn't make any sense, but ISO is mostly your sensitivity, your camera sensitivity into light, and the lower your ISO is usually the darker. Lower is darker, and more of your ISO, more higher ISO mean more brighter. That's right. But also bad about ISO, if you bump your ISO too high, it's going to be a lot of noise in the video. Now we're going to FPS. Yes, frame per second. So for cinematographer, we usually use 24 frame per second, 24 FPS. Okay, enough with the FPS. I'm going to say that in depth in the later video, because we kinda have a short time here, because there's a lot more I'm gonna talk about. And the second thing is your your aperture setting. Aperture is kinda opposite of ISO. The lower your aperture number, you got a lot more light. So I'm gonna do a language transition here so that I can say a lot of bad words. So so actually the F ataupun the aperture setting is actually how big or how wide your lens opening is. I have talked about that tadi. Okay, so the aperture actually control how much depth of field that you have. How much depth, if you look at this photo here, guess what aperture they use? They use 2.4 aperture, which is kind of the
So actually, I'm talking about f2.8, not f2.4 or f2.3. I just looking back to the video and I just realized.
camera actually. That aperture is actually depend on the lens itself. Because there's are lens that only have till 3.5 or 5, like Nikon, they're only till 5.0 aperture, and for this camera it's usually 3.5, and that's it. If you use wide angle lens like this, that's the aperture or the f. And I'm going to talk about f, and later in the later video, well, I'm gonna teach you how to shoot in manual, because most of my friends can shoot in manual and they want to call themselves a photographer or a cinematographer, which they actually sucks at it. Even I, because I don't have much time to go out, because I'm an introvert. I said like this because I don't know who are you, and you don't know who are me. Maybe you know who are me because this is my friend, I think. But just talking about in our camera, so I don't know if this. So the fourth thing is 1/n1. The shutter speed of the camera, the shutter speed that you're gonna use. So for cinematographer or for video making, we actually use how much frame rate you use. If you use 24 frame rate per second or 24 fps, you have to use 1/50, which is this, because actually the slash is actually mean over, maksud lebih. So you have to use double the FPS that you're using for making video. But for taking picture of photographer, it's another topic. You can use how big or how low of FPS that you want and of your shutter speed, because it's actually depend on the situation. Okay, so it's actually depend on the situation. If you want to shoot a grainy or a grainy and soft kind of look, you have to use below 50, yeah, below 50, below 60. I'm gonna talk about that in depth later in the video, not in this video, because I'm kinda just want to talk about the topic that you have to know. Not about I'm gonna teach you about that, but so topic number 2, or the second thing, is know your rules. I mean, not knowing. Oh, the second topic that I'm gonna talk about is know your roles. Know your rules. I mean, based on know your rules, such as I actually mean by know what are you doing about the camera, about that thing that you're gonna buy, about that what you're gonna use it about. I mean, in now and in the future. So if you know your rules, or you know what you are gonna do with the camera, you actually can know. I mean, you can in depth. Oh fuck. Yeah, you can know more into what you're gonna do about the camera. Like, kalau korang nak buat photographer, you can buy some accessory that pasal photograph. So know what you are using the camera for, so that it can be much easier for you to make a surprising aftermath. Yes. And if you haven't buy a camera yet, I'm maybe gonna suggest a camera. It's actually depend on your budget lah, and actually depend on what you're going to do. Cause kalau korang macam nak buat only photography, kalau budget korang bawah 5,000, I can suggest Sony camera. I don't know what Sony, but Sony's kind of great for picture. And if you interested in Canon, buy 5D, 6D, 4D, or if you have a higher budget like that lah, macam about 7,000 or 6,000, you can buy USR, which is the dream camera that I want. And if you want to make only a video, you can buy Rebel TI, yeah, Canon Rebel TI, 7 Rebel TI, yeah, that camera, because it have 4K shooting in 60 fps. It's kind of good for video, but the price actually is about 2,000, 2,000 lebih macam tu je. And if you want to shoot photo and video, I have. And kalau budget korang lebih kurang 5,000, 600, 5,000 ke 6,000 or 4,000, I can suggest between 5D, 7D, 17D, 80D, and 90D. 90D if you are in the middle of about 5,000 and 6,000, about that. Yeah, you can buy 90D because it was a great camera for photo and actually for video. You can shoot 4K at 60. 4K at 60, bro. My 80, bro. I really suggest 80D, because many creators used it, and the best for budget. Not for budget, but for photo and videography, it's actually the best camera out there. So but if kalau korang punya budget about 20,000 about that lah, you can buy Sony A7S Mark III, the new Sony, or the Canon 1DX Mark III. Yeah, the big one. Yeah, yang korang nampak bila orang dekat F1 apa semua tu, the big camera that kind of bulky. Yeah, that is. You can that camera, you're gonna surprise about the price. Actually is ringgits, 25,000 ringgits. Yeah, I know it's kinda hurt, but if you anak datuk or what, belanja me also. Yeah, belanja me. I want it, and you can buy that. You can buy it. Yes, we finally back. So if you notice any difference, because my camera actually have gotten out of memory and actually even got enough battery. So yeah, I have to reshoot, not reshoot, but retake the the last topic. So let's get back to the topic. The last topic is invest on your gear. Yeah, invest on your gear, like lens, gimbal, or what, anything gear that you want to buy and actually can give you much money. I mean, can make you look much more professional, like that. Actually, you have to buy it based on what you're doing. Like if you're doing wildlife photography or what, you have to have a specific lens for that, like the 50 to 300 millimeters lens. Yeah, that big lens, that is mostly for wildlife. And if you want to do like wedding photography, I mean, I recommend the Canon zoom lens. Yeah, there's actually two type of lens, the zoom lens and prime lens. The zoom lens, yeah, it can zoom. So zoom lens have pretty much the category the same kind of with the prime lens, but prime lens is actually just like you buy a 35mm prime lens and you just get a 35mm lens. You can have a 50. No, korang pakai 35 tu, korang cuba dapat shoot on 35mm je lah. That was his prime lenses. So prime lens goal actually to have much better focus range, like that and invest on these two important topics. First is sound. Remember, always before you buy any lens like that, try to invest these two things first: sound and your lighting. Okay, that you see, I didn't invest in any lighting, but I can get a decent enough kind of lighting, because I use a Windows natural lighting, my laptop and display a widescreen on it, so you can get that about widescreen kind of look. Yeah, that soft light. Look at that. We got some green, and then we got white again. Yes, and I got my room light. So yeah, make sure you invest on light. Like you become like me, use everything that you have. So I think that's for the video. Much more video about camera stuff coming up. So make sure you like this video, subscribe it, and also yeah, push that bell so that you can get notified every time. Because and fuck, and this I kind of